Shock report, DOJ and FBI continued to collect information from Steele after he was terminated. By Amy Moreno for TruthFeedNews.com. If you're still not convinced the Russia probe was a deep state conspiracy theory, keep reading and we'll change your mind. Turns out that even after dossier author Christopher Steele was fired from FBI and deemed an unreliable source, the FBI and DOJ continued to collect information from him. From the Washington Examiner, congressional investigators know that Christopher Steele, the former British spy who compiled the Trump dossier on behalf of the Clinton campaign, kept supplying allegations to the FBI after the 2016 election and even after he was terminated as a source by the Bureau for giving confidential information to the media. Because he had broken his agreement with the FBI, Bureau procedure did not allow agents to keep using Steele as a source, but they did so anyway by devising a system in which Steele spoke regularly with Bruce Orr, a top Obama Justice Department official whose wife worked for Fusion GPS, which hired Steele to search for dirt on Donald Trump in Russia. Orr then passed on Steele's information to the FBI. In a highly unusual arrangement, Orr, who was the fourth highest ranking official in the Justice Department, acted as an intermediary for a terminated source for the FBI's Trump-Russia probe. His task was to deliver to the FBI what Steele told him, which effectively meant the Bureau kept Steele as a source. Agents made a record of each time or gave the Bureau information from Steele. Those records are in the form of a so-called 302 report, in which the FBI agents write up notes of interviews during an investigation. There are a dozen 302 reports on FBI post-election interviews of Orr. The first was November 22, 2016. After that, the FBI interviewed Orr on December 5th, December 12th, December 20th, January 23rd, 2017, January 25th, January 27th, February 6th, February 14th, May 8th, May 12th, May 15th. The dates previously unreported publicly were included in a July letter from the Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley to the FBI and the Justice Department. Congressional investigators have read the Orr-Steele 302s, but the FBI has kept them under tight control, insisting they remain classified and limiting access to a few lawmakers and staff. Congress is not allowed to physically possess copies of any of the documents. Now, Grassley says there is no continuing justification for the FBI to keep the documents secret. Grassley, who exercises oversight authority over the FBI, is formally challenging the Bureau's decision to keep the Orr-Steele 302s under wraps. Grassley's insistence has been met, unsurprisingly, with no cooperation from the FBI. Of course not. One small bit of the 302s has already been made public. The House Intelligence Committee, in its memo focusing on the FBI's application to the secret FISA court to win a warrant to wiretap one-time Trump foreign policy advisor Carter Page, included a 16-word passage from an Orr 302 in which Orr described Christopher Steele's motivation to stop candidate Trump. Even though Orr's interview with the FBI took place after the election, he apparently described things Steele told him during their contacts in the months before the election, as well as new information. Here is the relevant portion of the House memo. Before and after Steele was terminated as a source, he maintained contact with DOJ via then Associate Deputy Attorney General Bruce Orr, a senior DOJ official who worked closely with Deputy Attorney General Yates and later Rosenstein. Shortly after the election, the FBI began interviewing Orr, documenting his communications with Steele. For example, in September of 2016, Steele admitted to Orr his feelings against then-candidate Trump when Steele said he was desperate that Donald Trump not get elected and was passionate about him not being president. This clear evidence of Steele's bias was recorded by Orr at the time and subsequently in official FBI files, but not reflected in any of the Page FISA applications. After the release of the House memo, Senator Grassley, along with Senator Lindsey Graham, wrote to the FBI noting the existence of numerous FD 302s demonstrating that Department of Justice official Bruce Orr continued to pass along allegations from Mr. Steele to the FBI after the FBI suspended its formal relationship with Mr. Steele for unauthorized contact with the media, and demonstrating that Mr. Orr otherwise funneled allegations from Fusion GPS and Mr. Steele to the FBI. Grassley also noted other documents of interest, in addition to the 302s written by the FBI agents who interviewed Orr. Orr himself also made notes of his talks with Steele. Those notes, which were never classified, have apparently been given to Congress. In his letter, Grassley referred to 63 pages of unclassified emails and notes documenting Mr. Orr's interactions with Mr. Steele. Grassley's argument for declassification of the Orr-Steele 302s is that the existence of the documents is widely known. Also, some of the material in them has been included in congressional documents and reported in the press, and Orr's own notes of the meetings in the possession of Congress are not classified. So now, there is no reason for the 302s to remain classified and for the FBI to withhold copies from Congress. The ultimate goal given Grassley's statement, and there is no reason for the FBI to keep the documents secret, is for the public to see them. What would all of that show? It's likely that the 302s and notes, if released, would show that the FBI was both still trying to get new information out of Steele after the election, and that it was also trying to verify the information Steele had already provided in the dossier installments he handed over in preceding months. Remember, the FBI had already presented some of the dossier's allegations as evidence to the FISA court? After going out on a limb like that, the Bureau wanted to know if the allegations were true or not. In a larger sense, the Orr-Steele 302s could shed some light on how an effort, it certainly included Steele, but also others, to keep Trump from being elected, morphed into an effort to keep Trump from being inaugurated, and then morphed into an effort to remove Trump from office. A version of that effort is still going on, of course, even as some in Congress try to find out how it started. Well, look, the thing is, it was a setup. That's the bottom line. And I don't understand why it's taking so long. It's so obvious it was a setup. They tried to, the insurance policy in my books, it was to not get Trump elected president. They wanted dirt on Trump before the election so they can present it and not get him elected, and Hillary would automatically be the winner. Once he got elected, then they tried to get info to stop the inauguration. Then they wanted him to impeach. Do you see? So step by step, they wanted to thwart Trump in every way possible, and they were not looking for what they're saying here, information on the dossier. They knew the dossier was false. The whole crew was working against Trump. That's the bottom line. They were not looking to verify the dossier. They knew the dossier was a bunch of garbage. Do you see what I'm saying? Come on, really? They were looking at if it was real or not. So in other words, you start a problem without knowing the facts first. They went with the phony dossier to get the 302s. So you're going to tell me the FBI was looking to verify the information of the dossier? That's bull. They weren't looking for anything. It was a setup. People were paid off, and they wanted their criminality to continue. That's basically what they were doing, because they were used to having full control over everything while Obama was in office. They were all working together, all on the same team. And they wanted Hillary to win. Everything would have been swept under the rug. Since Trump got in, they're freaking out because their criminality is going to be outed. That's basically the bottom line. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.